Hello friends, family, and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to a best of 5 between Dark here in the top right, spawning as our blue Zerg player, and in the bottom left as our red Terran. He already spoiled it for everyone else. It is of course ByuN over here. I'm not quite sure what he's talking about, but they're having an absolutely fantastic time once more. This is a best of 5 that got played in a recent tournament called the Brawlers Cup. Usually you just pick individual games from these, but this time I figured, you know what, I'll just cast the entire tournament. And the way that this is set up is that there are 4 players in this tournament: ByuN, Dark, Classic, and Astrea. And all of them play a best of 5 against one another at the end of the 3 matches that each player has played. So 6 matches in total. We see who has the most points based on map score and a couple of other rules. And then prize money gets distributed in that way. So today we have Dark versus ByuN. Tomorrow we will have Classic versus Astrea, but that is something for tomorrow. For now, we're going to be getting into this series. These guys have played each other a lot as of late, and they seem to be having a great time as well. I know this one. This is the K, the K, which also is known as the Laughing. So they're having an absolute blast here in the early game, and I do believe that both players are actually having a blast in this early game, because we see a hatchery first coming out of Dark and a barracks first no scout coming out of ByuN here. And the barracks first no scout out of ByuN, now the reason why this is so cool is that if he plays this against the pool first, he's actually in a little bit of trouble, but because his opponent is not playing pool first, he's going to be completely fine. Look at this. One of the observers having a blast as well, just joining in the conversation over here. They type so fast, it's ridiculous. Honestly, sometimes when I type good luck, have fun, I forget my pylon. Like, that's it. These guys are typing entire stories. They're trying to rewrite the Bible in Korean over here. And they're not missing a beat in the early game. It's fairly impressive. Ooh. What is this? This is a fast factory. The reason I say this is because usually a factory gets built by the SCV that builds the depot as well. So you finish the depot, then build the factory. This feels like it's going to be a different type of build, and a build that perhaps I'm not entirely familiar with. It could just be Hellions produced from this factory into something else. We'll have to wait and see. I'm actually kind of curious here. ByuN trying to deal some damage. Absolutely not dealing any damage whatsoever so far, though. Queen's about to pop out at 236, as it always does. And Dark is going to be one happy camper here. Third base goes down for him as well, as he has the third queen on the way in that natural base. And yeah, maybe triple CC anyway. So this is usually why you don't see a fast factory. It's because there's really no point. You don't have enough gas for the starport, and the reactor isn't done, so you can't even get quick Hellion. So you just waste a little bit of minerals here by sending a second SCV to do that. Like, the factory just was AFK for a bit, and he didn't use it for faster tech either. So I thought there was going to be some cool build order here, but ByuN just made a mistake, and it happens as well. That actually makes me happier. I also love it when I'm watching like football or something like that, and players make a very kind of a basic error, you know, they kick over the ball and they fall. It makes you feel better about yourself, and you think, oh, I could have done that as well, you know, like I make those mistakes on the daily, you know, I could have been over there. It makes you believe that the level that these people are playing at is a little bit more attainable. Well, in reality, of course, you give me ByuN's position, and I probably will be down 5 workers already for no real reason. Do have a quick Liberator coming out here, as well as the Tech Lab seems to be going into Bio as a follow-up from this. And for now, we have just that triple CC Liberator. I wonder if we're going to see a second starport unit, or if it's just going to be single lib, and that will be it. We'll have to wait and see, of course, what ByuN's plans are going to be. Well, the first plan involves him losing his Reaper. Not a plan that the Reaper's parents were completely involved in creating, or any close family. The Reaper's wife, married with an SCV. This SCV was a marriage that, you know, the Reaper's parents weren't completely happy with, because, you know, marrying outside of your class is pretty much frowned upon in the Terran future. But the Reaper and the SCV did it, and now this SCV is widowed. Poor thing. At least it got put on a close mineral patch, so less walking distance. Liberators being moved up, man. I think a lot of people sad here this afternoon. This is the problem if you create a narrative around the units, start giving them names. You know, you get an emotional connection with them. And rather than just watching a fun game of a fun best of 5 between ByuN and Dark, all of a sudden you come out of your room crying. Your wife asks, you know, why are you crying? I thought you liked playing Dark. You're like, it's so sad. You don't know anything. And you sleep on the couch because you said that your wife didn't know anything. God. life just spirals downward from there on out. And all because I made a bad narrative about an SCV and a Reaper. It isn't fair. Ooh, look at that. What is this Hellion run by? It's running into nothingness. It's an interesting move. Well, never mind. It's gonna find the drones over here. At least some drones. 6 drones get taken. That's a maze over here being created. Like trees that instantly grow and just a maze, you know, just starting up around these cars. At the same time, this Liberator's still going. And look at this. This guy didn't even take any damage. All the queens are at the front, and this Lip and this Spore are just dancing back and forth, dancing back and forth. It's literally every single queen. Yes, these 4 queens now are making their way back home. It's like, well, I guess if you're really fast with a Liberator, then that's pretty darn good against Dark, because he always pulls all of his queens forward. Look at this bad boy just going absolutely ham. Dark getting completely outplayed here in the early game by ByuN, who so far has killed 9 workers, did end up losing the Liberator, but also killed a lot of mining time over here, which also is important, of course. We have a macro hatch in the main base going up. Fort base has already finished, and we have double Evo as well as a Baneling nest coming in right now. So some exciting moves here coming out of Dark, who has always been kind of fond of these 1-1 link styles. You know, we've seen it in the past, and we're gonna see it again, and we might even see it this game, as I don't really know what else he could go into from, you know, a 4-gas opener with double Evo. Guess eventually he could add a 5th, maybe even a 6-gas, get some Hydras out. But initially, most likely just going to be pure Link, a couple of Banelings, maybe for run-bys, maybe for defense. We'll have to wait and see. Seven queens out total. 15 overlords out total. Look at that. 113 out of 144 supply. This is Baneling run by potential, of course. 4 Banes. There we go. Usually you kind of want to wait for centrifugal hoops, but I'm not so sure if Dark's actually going to end up doing that. Could just, in a moment of chaos, as well go over to... Ooh! Ooh! Oh! Atrax. Atrax here out of ByuN. That definitely warrants an ooh. Because that's kind of exciting. Okay, let's take a look at the first person here. Out of ByuN, sees the Banelings come in on the minimap. Is he paying attention? He's not paying attention. He's busy microing over here. We'll take out a lot of these Banes, but it's going to lose a lot of SCVs as well. Oi, 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 oi. 12 workers go down on the side of ByuN all at once. At the same time, the triple barracks that he was creating also gets scouted. So that's a double whammy right there. One queen does get targeted down. The creep has actually been denied pretty well. I have to admit, there's hardly any creep here near this fort base. That means that this follow-up push with a couple of Widow Mines, 1-1 upgrades against 0-0. Is there potential here? No centrifugal hooks quite yet. This is a lot of Marines. That's 36 Marines against a mere 9 Banelings without speed so far. 9 more seconds, still centrifugal hooks. Retarget on this mine is going to take out basically every single Baneling. The last one gets targeted down. Now it's pure Marine with 1-1 upgrades against inferiorly upgraded Links, Queens, and an odd Hydra or so. But there's not a single Bane here. 25 Marines, 2 mines moving forward. Here come the Banes. Do not get the connections that they want, as every single Link is going to get taken out. 126 supply for ByuN against 128. The army supply is 60 against 56. And now, just now, 1-1 finishes up for Dark. And he's going to feel a little bit more secure. There's still no creep. ByuN still has this push going on. Has started 2-2 behind this, which Dark at the moment can't really afford. He's sinking all of his resources into Hydras, into Hydra speed. Not in a lot of Banelings, though. We see a couple of extra Banelings being built here. There is an Overseer, which is huge, because otherwise these mines would stay alive forever. And does get sniped. Needs to be rebuilt immediately. This is absolute priority right now for Dark. Or at least should be absolute priority here for Dark. One more Baneling gets targeted down as well. This is pure Hydra with 5 Banes that will need to fight off creep mines moving in. Kind of like a fool. Are going to stay alive for now. 2-2. Way quicker here. Way quicker for ByuN. Fort base also on the way behind this. We have triple Marauder production coming in. And it seems like ByuN is kind of okay with letting this fort base be what it is. And saying, hey, my eco is pretty okay. I'm going to get a fort base. Do you have a 5th yet? I'm going to rotate towards the top side. Take out a couple of creep tumors, which will allow ByuN to basically take an engagement wherever he wants in the future. There's simply not enough queens to spread creep. There's 4 queens out right now, and we have 5 hatcheries. That means that either you inject or you spread creep. You simply cannot do both. And right now it seems that Dark is opting for non-injecting. does mean that his larva count is going to be rather low, and that's represented in the overall money that he has in the bank right now. 500 minerals, growing up to 700 minerals. There's nothing he can do about it. 5 larvae still there. We'll need to start using it. +2 melee is on the way here for Dark. No +2 carapace. We do have the +1 range coming in as well, but these Marines, you want to deny their damage. So often we see carapace upgrades having priority over attack upgrades in the Zerg versus Terran matchup. Not the case this time. And I think that's actually going to bite Dark a little bit in the bum in the next fight. Look at this. 119 supply against 91. Creep practically non-existent. There's not that many mines, but the Marauder count is sufficient that you can count at least a bunch of these Banes, which, let's face it, Baneling count is also quite low. There's just not a lot of money here for Dark to work with. He is floating a crap ton of cash, so despite not actually getting all that much money, he's still managing to float it due to that lack of injects earlier on. I think ByuN is confused by this. His plan probably with this push was to cancel a 5th base, but there's no 5th base. Kinda feels like you go and do a master's degree and become a doctor and then realize that doctor is a fictional occupation. Which obviously it isn't, but it's shocking for a second, you know? You have all this knowledge, you can't do anything with it. And ByuN feels the same over here. Now decides to drop in towards the main base. Does have the 2-2 upgrade. Ooh, needs a boost out though. And honestly, I think he's just going to straight up win the game over here. Look at that. Baneling count is currently at 5. He's up 2 upgrades right now in this fight. He's just standing still and taking it. Ends up boosting away. He's going to be up a base soon. He can just throw down another one if he wants to. Let's face it. There's really nothing that Dark can do about it. Dark hasn't been aggressive with Baneling roundbys for a while. Ooh, this is bad, losing this army. Losing a medevac, couple of Marines. Does lose a little bit of pressure on that far left side. But at the same time, does it really matter? We're gonna need 3-3 to start soon. And I would love to see a 5th base. This is an orbital, by the way. This is how confident ByuN is in his position right now. Saying, hey, I'm attacking so much. I don't need a planetary on my fort. I want more scans. And on top of that, I also want slightly more money. I want to be capable of muling. Currently, there's no mules on the map, but there's always potential for the future, of course. Triple Marine drop heading towards the main base. Triple Medevac drop now heading in towards the main base. Is there a mine in this drop? There is not. It's pure Marine Marauder. 3-3 starts behind this. Baneling gets connections over here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Not without carapace upgrades. GG gets called as ByuN wins game number 1 against Dark in dominant fashion here on Ancient Cistern. And after that dominant performance, game number 2 will be played over here on Babylon. What do we have for ByuN? Once again, it's going to be a barracks first, but it's Dark who switches it up with a quick pull. And I'm curious to see what he's gonna get from here. Like, what is he actually gonna get? Is it just gonna be 2 links? Is it gonna be 6 links? Will it be followed up with a roach all in? And of course, the most important question: what is this SCV going to do? Because right now he's very busy. He's constructing this building, the first of its kind in this game. Build the depot, now building the barracks. So further research. Further tech is possible into that factory, getting an orbital command. But after this, it doesn't matter what he builds. It's about where he moves. And for the love of ByuN, I hope this SCV moves straight across the map. But we can already see this rally point being set up towards the natural. So the same opener here, without a scout. Last game I mentioned, if your opponent plays pool first, this could be an issue. And we see a blind Roach Warren going up here. A blind Roach Warren is going up. Dark does not believe that ByuN is going to end up scouting this game. And that could be an issue here for ByuN. So what is ByuN going to do? What is he going to do? I don't know. Does he keep the Reaper at home to deal with the Lynx? If that's the case, he doesn't get the scout on the Roaches. If he sends it across the map and the Lynx run by, you're going to lose building time on your CC here. And the Roaches show up, might not even end up finishing that CC. There could be trouble. Here go the Lynx, moving out around the map as the Reaper goes across. Actually, I think these Lynx are too slow. That is a very mediocre play here out of Dark. ByuN now actually getting the best out of both worlds, because he's building a second Marine as well. This is going to be a temporary hold at least. Can just build a bunker on the high ground once he gets the scout. And now that fast factory actually makes sense. It's in case it's against a fast pool. I thought it was a mistake, but he's a genius. In case he's playing against a pool first into Roaches, this fast factory is actually going to provide some real value. That's what we're going to see right now. Oh no. Is this SCV going to die? No. Turns around. Look at it. Oh my god. What a legend. Look at that. He's not done yet. He's going back. He's gonna finish that bunker. He's like, all right, kill the Zergling with my claws. Yes, I almost died, but it's okay. I can get repaired later on. Now I'm going downstairs to build this bunker. I'm not so sure if it's gonna end up finishing up. This bunker still needs 10, well, 15 seconds actually. And these roaches are not 15 seconds away. They're more like 10 seconds away. Are they? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're fine. Look at that. As if he's gonna stay alive. Cyclone is on the way already. Double marine production behind this. This is a 5 roach rush with a single Ravager. Ooh, as if he's need to be pulled. We'll start mining here. Are not going into the bunker. This mule's gonna die as well. This shouldn't have dealt that much damage, should it? I don't think this should have dealt as much damage. Cyclone is about to pop out. This bunker definitely is gonna end up dying. No salvage. That's 75 minerals you're never getting back. Cyclone will come in and help out. The Reaper not being microed. ByuN. Sloppy defense here. Most of the time we see that bunker on the high ground. ByuN went for the bunker on the low ground. And I think he paid the price there. I really do believe that he paid the price. Now following this up with a second Cyclone. First Cyclone will get the kill on this Overlord and starts moving out across the map. Wants to scout if there's a third base. It's going to be a double Cyclone drop, I think. I've seen this build in the past as a response against an initial roach rush. It really allows you to deny that third base for a little bit. So I have to wait and see if that's actually going to be in the works here for ByuN. Look at that. Look at that Urubu. This guy really just hoping that the Cyclone doesn't have it in for him. He stands no chance. This is the opposite of the apex predator. He's on the very bottom of the food chain. What do you call that? That's this guy, the Urubu. Look at him. Can't even fly. Like, this is one of them ground birds. It's like a chicken. Cyclone's actually dealing some damage. Well, some damage. Basically winning the game here for ByuN. Good control here with these... Why were these queens even downstairs? I guess they wanted to defend this third, but... Could have waited a little bit. No? Don't think that was worth it. Well, losing 2 queens for free. That's definitely not worth it. It's not a very good trade. That's like when you're playing Monopoly and you need to pay one of the fines. You need to pay like the taxes or something. It's like, was that worth it for you? It's like, no, it's not worth it. I got nothing and paid taxes. I really used to like Monopoly as a kid, which makes no sense because right now I absolutely hate games that involve any luck. And well, let's face it, Monopoly really is the most insane luck game around. Actually, we also had a game that was called Roulette, which was literally just called Roulette. And you play roulette and you'd have chips. It was just like in the casino. I used to play this when I was like 9 or 8. No clue how I'm not a gambling addict. Why would my parents buy a game called Roulette? No one knows. I have absolutely no clue why they had that, but it actually confused me. I'm gonna text them after this game. What were they thinking? I mean, I turned out all right, but that was playing with fire right there. I wasn't the brightest lad either when I was young. Still not the brightest lad, but definitely not when I was young. I ate so much sand, you know, that people started asking if maybe there were some hidden vitamins in there, like some nutrients that they weren't aware of, because that was mainly what my diet consisted of. This is also an interesting move. No, just stay upstairs. ByuN. You're being roach rushed. All you need to do is not die right now. Just stay here, up the ramp. There we go, buddy. Oh my god, the door is down. This tank is gonna end up falling for free. That was a rookie move here out of ByuN. He's still going to hold. And with the Banshee coming in soon, I think he's in a good position. But, well, actually, you can live that. And now the second base, because this was so much worse than it should have been. And I feel like that's pretty much the story of the game so far, where ByuN basically has a defense by default and then messes it up, which is not great. Let's face it. Let's face the music here. That's a game I also liked a lot when I was young. It's the game with the chairs. And when the music stops, you have to take a chair. Although it always felt like that there had to be a pace enforced, you know? Because otherwise people would just linger around the chairs too much. A little bit ridiculous in my opinion. That game actually wasn't so well thought out. I used to play it on kids' birthdays a lot, which honestly... Once again, a miracle that people think that's a good game for kids' birthdays because it's prone to cheating and people beating each other up for the final chair. If you want to get 2 kids to fight quickly, play musical chairs. My youth is filled with surprises. Long call set up with my parents for tonight. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Very interesting. What is this? Oh, look at these benches. 109 supply for Dark. 99 for ByuN. Has an armory on the way. Upgrade-wise, ByuN is doing fantastic. Oh, this is the cave bulb. This is the cave bulb. Now, for people that are not aware what the cave bulb is, where have you been? Living in a... Never mind. The cave bulb is a build that is fairly simple to execute. And it's also a build that is never supposed to get ahead against Terran. Basically what it is you get a fast infestation pit with a Hydra den while going up to 8 gases. There's no aggression coming out of the Zerg. And then you go into lurkers from there. And it's almost impossible to die because you're playing Roach Ravager. But it's also impossible to deal any damage to your opponent. So Terran can go into 4 orbital commands, build up a tank count of 29, and go into Ghost from there. All for free, basically. Now, in the old patch, getting to Ghost basically was a death sentence for the Zerg, especially if you weren't in a somewhat okay position when it came to the bases. But in the new patch, from what I've heard, is that the Terrans, they don't like the new Ghost very much. Okay? They don't like the new Ghost. That's okay. That's a little bit... The new Ghosts are a little bit like a remake of a movie you liked. It's like Will Smith in Aladdin, you know? That is what the new Ghost is. You know, the old one... What was the guy called? Robin Williams? Robbie Williams. One of the two. The guy that played the blue dude in Aladdin. Good lord, why can't I think of his name? Genie. The Genie. That's the same with the Ghost. You know, the old Ghost was cool, you know, he was funny. He killed everything. The new Ghost just doesn't quite possess the same power. But this is, of course, according to the Terrans. Terrans have never seen a change in their lives and not complain about it. They are very upset when they had to go to high school. I liked elementary school so much. The teacher ties my shoelaces every day. So we'll have to wait and see what is true about it. Very conservative people, the Terrans. As long as it, you know, changes that are somewhat negative to them. They get something new, you know, it's a shiny little toy. They're like a kid in a Play Store. But they'll still figure a way to complain about it. It's too difficult to use this new toy. Well, the other kids in your class didn't get anything. Yes, but they don't have to deal with the stress of not knowing how to use it. No, that type of work. Ooh. This is what we consider not a good push. And as I say that, he straight up wins the game with this push, doesn't he? Nah, not really, actually. This was fairly mediocre. So, well, it was also pre-2-2. This is a very confusing push altogether. The reason why I say this wasn't such a good push is actually fairly simple. It resets your tank count, which is one of the main assets you have from this early game, and allows your opponent a little bit of map control, which definitely is here now for Dark. Now, Dark is just going to max out on Roach Ravager. He's already teching into Lurkers, does not have any good upgrades. There's 3 tanks as the backbone of this army. Not a lot of Ravagers on the right side. First tank is going to get sniped. Second tank gets sniped as well. Are the Banshees still alive? No, 1 tank remains, but 2-2 BIOS seems to be good enough to deal with this pure Roach Ravager army for now. More tanks should be coming out. Okay, tank from the high ground is being sent down. Lots of medevacs here in this army as well, which is good. No 3-3 starting. Okay, here we go. That means that ByuN feels fairly confident in this hold, I think. Has 8 barracks already as well. Tank so far back, though. It's not really assisting whatsoever, as this command center feels forced to lift. Do we have a 5th on the way yet? No, there's not. Is there a Ghost Academy? Yes, there is. So we have that follow-up, and I mean, worker-wise, ByuN still is doing fantastic here. He denied the 5th base as well 2 times in a row. He's going to be up in upgrades, but there is a timing here. There is a timing here for Dark. There's going to be some Vipers out. There's going to be a bunch of Roachers, a bunch of Ravagers, a couple of Lurkers in this army. And it wouldn't surprise me if Dark just moves across the map, says, hey, you don't have enough tanks to actually stop me. Because right now in this game, 8 tanks have gone down. And I don't think that was necessary. I don't think these pushes with the massive tank pushes are usually necessary when you're playing against the Cave Bob style. That massive Roach blob into Hydra Lurker. Vipers. It's difficult to get that good army for Zerg. It takes a lot of time to build into. And if you keep your tanks alive, you basically already have the counter set up. All you need to do is add ghosts. And if your name is ByuN, you're probably going to have a very good time in that game. Triple extra command centers here on the way right now. I've casted a game out of ByuN recently. I feel like that was against Dark as well, where he ended up getting 14 orbital commands. That's a world record that seems like he might want to break it this time around, as he's already adding 3 extra orbitals. Look at this. What is this? But he just tried to drop on top of a roach army with 1 tank as backup. That seems like a very ambitious play, and a play that didn't work out, but this chase definitely is working out. 1 big scan here could clear up a lot of active creep tumors. These 2 bad boys are important. There's only 6 queens remaining as well. Now only 5 queens remaining, which means it's pretty difficult here. Pretty darn difficult for Dark to get that creep back out. Look at how thin the spread is of the creep tumors as well. This is not 12 creep tumors. This is a single file lane over here. And that's very scary. How many lurkers is this? This is 9 lurkers. 3-3 upgrades. Here comes the parasitic bomb. 1 tank in the back. Oh, 2 tanks in the back actually will provide a little bit of damage. Ghost going in for the snipes. We'll get a couple of hits off here. Snipe. Poof! No, didn't quite go through. Viper is going to end up on the range of that ghost. It's still magnificent. 40 range. I mean, that is beautiful. Gets the kill there for free. And ByuN, despite being lower in supply currently, looking to be in a pretty decent position. 3-3 upgrades. 4 ghosts coming out here as well, and the ghost count is growing. All right, we're going up to 10. We're gonna see how good this ghost still is. Is it still a viable unit? Is it a unit that we look at and just misses every single shot that they take, or do we still get to see a lot of these snipes actually finish? We're gonna have a look at it here. I think the first snipe that I saw that went off was on the Viper. That definitely didn't get cancelled because it was out of range. It actually went off. All the other cancels so far have just been because the ghost got attacked, and no other real reason, at least not that I'm aware of. So we're just kind of gonna count, global counting, not very precise. You know, we'll see what happens here. Ooh, 1 CC actually gets taken out. We have 6 orbitals out already. There's 3 more command centers on the way that could potentially turn into orbitals. That is a very good little siege tank abduct there. This CC might be toast. Could also still be in an okay spot. No snipes going down. Okay, there we go. Hit. All of these will connect. No, 1 actually managed to walk away. Could have been that the lurker managed to just clear that ghost, shoot the ghost before it finished the shoot. Didn't feel like these roaches were out of range yet. As this lurker tries to run by. It's not quite the scan after the fact. Like a manor mule, but the manor scan. Absolute classic. This bad boy also gets taken out. Good fight here for ByuN overall. Absolutely fantastic fight. I think he's actually winning this game. He has 89 workers right now. He's up to 17 ghosts. Good lord, that is a huge number of ghosts right now. Absolutely fabulous. 11 Hydras as well on the way here for Dark. It feels like Dark is basically all in with this army. If he doesn't win the next fight, I think he just straight up loses the game. He's been stuck on 5 bases. He has no real ability to take a 6. He can't take the top side base. I just don't think it's possible with the lack of creep here covering this general area. With this base already into a planetary, with the ability of ByuN to split. The only thing I'm missing on ByuN's side right now is a sensor tower here on that bottom. I mean, he has a freaking sensor tower in the main. He has a sensor tower over here. So there's triple sensor towers, but nothing over here at the bottom. Tanks in the back should be capable of helping out there. There's no Vipers with this army. Lurkers will take out 1 command center. Second orbital actually doesn't get lifted. Will also die. Here come the snipes. Will hit every single unit. And now these lurkers move in. Lots of ghost available. This is suicide. This is suicide by ghost over here. Oh no. 174 supply against 123. Every lurker gets completely blasted. As yeah, this is over. This is completely over here. Lurkers getting owned. Supply for ByuN looking sick. Resources lost. Favorable as well here for our Terran player. GG gets called. Dark loses game number 2. And ByuN is on match point here in this best of 5. Game number 3 will be played on grass 1. And we see a command center first coming down here for ByuN on the low ground. Double Rex as well as a follow-up. So most likely going to be Reactor into Tech Lab here for ByuN. It's one of the builds that he has been playing a lot as of late. I want to say in the last 2.5 months, he really has been absolutely destroying this build when it comes to the frequency that he plays it with. I've seen series where he'll play this 3, 4, 5 times in a row. And it is vulnerable to some of the earlier roach pushes because once again, he's not scouting with it. But it does have a lot of marines very quickly. On top of that, it also has a fast 3rd CC often. And you get to do a 2-on-1 type of push. It's a very powerful build order, but without the scout, of course, does leave some risks that Dark definitely can capitalize on. If there is some type of early roach rush, that is frustrating and hard to deal with. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to end up happening there. We now have 2 marines on the way, as well as our tech lab and a factory that is going down right behind it. We'll see stim start and then the starport go down. 2-on-1 will commence from that point on out. First link moves out across the map and we'll find an SCV working, but that shouldn't be the end of the world. Second depot goes down. We have no type of follow-up here coming out of Dark. Not even starting speed. Look at that. That's some beautiful stuff. He says, hey, I'm not going to need speed anytime soon. So I can cut that initially to get more drones out, to get more queens out. Make sure that my creep spread is absolutely perfect. And that is exactly what is happening here. So Dark is going to start spreading a lot of creep. He's going to start boosting out a lot of these drones. Look how little links he's building as well. 4 links total. It's not a lot. It's really not a lot. But it's going to be enough for now. Because these marines can't just walk across the map and start doing things. ByuN has done it in the past where he'll walk across the map, try to snipe an overlord. But I'd be very surprised. Against a player like Dark, that just carries a lot of risk. And I don't think it's something you really want to do. 3 marines in the front, 5 marines at the ramp. These are to defend the wall, of course. And then the ones in the back are to make sure that you don't straight up die if there's a massive link flood. Ooh, 3 marines actually getting a little bit ballsy here, wanting to move out. As the starport is now finished and the first 2 medevacs are being produced. No 3rd CC quite yet, but I'm sure it will go down pretty soon. Free threat still pushing on and on and on and on. Queen 7 and 8 on the way as well. As metabolic boost is about to finish up. We see a second gas, most likely indicating that we want to get into a layer. Ooh, layer and roach warren. Or just a really late roach push? Nah, that seems unlikely. I'm not sure what the actual plan here is going to be for Dark. This feels like a layer type of setup though. I'm kind of surprised that we're seeing so many links being built with metabolic boost. If you're also building a roach warren, almost feels like Dark could have played some wild roach build over here. You know, just pure roach, no need for any of these links. Initially defend with like 5, 6 queens and maybe 3, 4 roaches, but maybe Dark doesn't want to show that yet. Doesn't want to show his hands. Here come the links coming in for the surround. Get the surround on these marines. A couple of marines will end up falling here, but a lot of links end up dying as well. 7 marines go down against 23 links, so that's 650 resources on the side of Dark against the 350 on the side of ByuN. Combat shield is on the way. Next medevac is coming out as well. There's a mine in there. There's 6 marines. And combat shield halfway done. We have new roaches being popped out right now. There's a bunch of queens still around. We have a 4th base on the way, not quite yet. There's 7 queens, so it's going to be 7 queens, a bunch of links, and 2 roaches. That's going to be it. Creep gets denied here. That's the start. Mine just gets targeted down before it even gets the burrow. This was a pre-combat shield push. This absolutely did not work. Kind of painful here for ByuN, honestly. As well as being knocked on. This isn't even attacking. This is a link that wants to go to the other side. Like, guys, I've had enough of the Zerg life. It's time for me to become a Terran. This thing's like, alright, we'll see about that. If you can withstand this tank shot, you're in. Wasn't capable of doing that quite. Rocks here are being taken out. That will give ByuN some quick and easy access towards this 6 o'clock base. If Dark ever decides to take it. It feels like Dark isn't really focused at all on a 4th base right now. Solely focusing on his 1-1 roach push, and this actually is starting to look a whole lot like a 1-1 timing. Of course, 1-1 for ByuN is also going to be done by the time this hits. There's going to be at least 4 tanks. Maybe even 5 tanks by the time this will arrive. I was hoping for maybe an extra tech lab here for some clean marauder production after seeing these roaches, but that's not quite the case. I mean, ByuN should be aware of kind of what's kicking off over here, you know? It's like he's seeing a lot of roaches. He knows what's going on. He hasn't spotted the fort base yet, or well, more the lack of the fort base, because let's face it, fort base going down at 6 minutes and 45 seconds is not really a fort base that you have to be very afraid of. You know that the drone count in that case can be all that high altogether. Second factory not here yet either. Definitely could start soon though. Probably want to get that after you start your 2-2 upgrades. Big scan taking out a couple of these single file creep tumors. As Glowery Constitution finishes up, and I think that Dark is pretty much setting up for that push right now. 3 more Overlords on the way, has a bunch of money in the bank. I think we're moving out very, very soon. 6, 8, 9, 10 Ravagers on the way. That's going to be 14 Roaches, 13 Ravagers, and then 11 more Roaches, so... just a whole lot of Roaches, a whole lot of Ravagers. And ByuN will need to sit back, relax, and take the heat. I mean, if ByuN survives this, he's in a fantastic spot. He has faster upgrades, he's getting a fort base, has good enough eco. Wouldn't have minded seeing a single bunker here somewhere, just to tank a little bit of damage, of course. Always useful to have. This ramp is helpful, but Dark says, I'm not going to move up that ramp. I'm actually going to attack from that left side. Allowing me a way better concave. Okay, so here we go. Roaches, Ravagers moving in right now. We see these Biles connecting with one of the tanks. Second tank is going to fall as well due to the Biles. Marines actually dying faster than I expected them to. The next set of Biles hits the third tank. Fourth tank still around in the back. 4 SCVs go down. ByuN trying to hold on. The repair on this tank is actually, well, it is safe, but not due to the repairs. I think there was just not enough Biles there. The next set of Biles is going to connect. Ooh, these Ravagers stay alive, at least barely for now. But that tank will definitely survive. Okay. We had a trade here. We had a trade. Now, let's take a look at that trade. Tank count got practically reset. Marines are still largely alive. A lot of Ravagers ended up dying. Resources lost looks good for ByuN. Income-wise looks good for ByuN. Upgrade-wise looks good for ByuN. This can only lead us to the simple conclusion that probably this was pretty good for ByuN. Ooh, taking the left side base here. Going for that 8, that 9 o'clock rather than the middle base. That actually surprises me a little bit. It really does, because this base seems easy to defend. And also it allows you to later on take this as a 5th base very, very easily. It becomes so darn simple to take this 5th base later on, because you have that control over the middle area, which means tanks can be over here. You could probably put a tank up here as well, kind of covering this ground, full wall this area. Like, there's a lot of things that make it easy for you to keep this as a 4th and then to have this as a 5th. But ByuN has different plans here. He's producing double tanks, has the 2-2 upgrades. These Roaches do not have 2-2 upgrades. As we see Dark wanting to fight here. That might be an illusion though. No, he might think he wants to fight. I don't think he actually wants to fight with this. Not into a tank count that ByuN has over here. Ooh, maybe these Lynx get the surrounds on the tanks. That would be pretty huge. That is pretty huge. 2 tanks gonna fall immediately. Liberator still there in the back, but he still has 2-3 tanks remaining. Plenty of Marines. Still a good pickup though. Dark's gonna be quite happy with that. Continuing putting on pressure, no hive on the way, no infestation pit yet here either. There are 8 gases, so it's definitely a viable plan for the near future. There's just so many Ravagers here. This tank is definitely gonna get taken out. Yep, there we go. First few Biles land. As the next few Biles actually connect with a lot of the medevacs, this base could be in a little bit of trouble. Here comes the stim. Not gonna stim in, too afraid for that. Tank needs to give support in the back. You see it siege up and it takes a little while. Command Center actually could be in some trouble as well. We have some more Biles trying to rain down on top of these Marines. ByuN with good control though is going to stabilize, loses a bunch of depots, loses a bunch of SCVs as well. Dark is just holding down that roach bottom. We have more roaches coming from the side, taking out 1 tank. Liberator is gonna stay alive, but this command center in some trouble right now. It's on fire. Not in the good sense like Bruce Springsteen sang about. But more in the bad sense. It's burning down and soon you won't have a command center anymore. Marines and Marauders tried to connect with these Ravagers and did an okay job trading out against these Ravagers, but that means there's not enough bio right now to really tank for these tanks, and it sounds stupid, but you need something in front of the tanks. Otherwise, these tanks are so darn vulnerable. Once again, I think ByuN actually gets away with it. Has one tank still alive, has a Liberator in the back, is now moving out with the Marauders. I think this is ill-advised. Definitely wants to be waiting before he gets the 3-3, and now he's gonna see this army. He's like, wait a second, do I actually want to be here? I think the answer is no. I think you want to pick up that tank. I think you want to pick up that tank, okay, and I think you want to pick up the rest of your army as well, or at least boost back. Tank on the high ground is gonna get sieged up. This bad boy needs to move even further back right now. You get a stim. Ramp needs to be controlled here. Biles not quite going to hit. 1, 2, 3 Biles as the tank goes down, and 3-3 finishes up here for ByuN. 146 supply against 167. This game started out rather slow, but now we've been fighting for what feels like minute 8 till minute 13 with constant roach aggression. We have triple Viper on the way as well. But the real problem, of course, is going to be the 3-3 upgraded Marine Marauder. Tanks are merely there in the back for some support. And if you have to invest Vipers to Blinding Cloud individual tanks, that can get very expensive very quickly here for Dark, who has started his +3, but he's going to be fighting with an upgrade deficit for a while. Look at that. Triple scans here going down, or double scans. Sees nothing on the top side. Sees that the Hive is pretty much finished. Probably saw the Vipers as well with that scan and the Hydra, and knows that there won't be any lurkers, and immediately sends out a single drop towards the top side. Interesting scan here towards the bottom side. Sees the Roach army. No next base yet. This is not a planetary. This is an orbital. Wow. We have a 5th base on the way as well, and we have our first ghost coming out. That's actually kind of big. Every single Marine's gonna survive here for now. This is a creep denial, matter of fact. You know, this one is not here for anything else except for some creep denying. Taking out a couple of tumors left, right, and center. These Marines, they dream of killing drones, but they're never really gonna see drones. They're gonna see a lot of links and a lot of creep tumors. That's about it. Sensor tower spots this army. Another scan goes down. That's 4 scans in the past minute. That's little less than 1,000 minerals that ByuN could have had in mules. I guess not the end of the world if you're already maxed out and you're getting ghost already at this point. Honestly, I think very similar to before, that the transition hits before the transition of Dark managed to hit. And here come a couple of EMPs, actually missing both. This one does connect, but 3 ghosts also do end up going down. So still an okay trade, I want to say, here for Dark. I mean, killing 3 ghosts and only losing energy is definitely fine. Might have lost a Ravager somewhere in there. Didn't quite catch that. Down 6k resources in resources lost, and I'm having a difficult time seeing how Dark is going to try and secure this game, because this is just a very hard map. This base is going to be pretty much impossible for Dark to take, given the circumstances of this planetary being here. This base can be taken, so we're pretty much looking at a split map scenario, unless Dark can figure out some way to deal a lot of damage in the near future, but he doesn't have the army for that. He has the army for a one-time fight, and that is it. He still needs to get rid of these Ravagers, and yes, it's really like that. He needs to get rid of them. They're losing value in these battles very rapidly. The more tanks there are, the worse they get. The more ghosts there are, the worse they get. And they're still very expensive, so you actually want to usually use them for something good. That's going to be very difficult. There's 3 Vipers out still. They're going to be fully chocked up on energy. Filled to the very top. But a single EMP could deny a lot of that. Do we have extra command centers on the way? Yeah, of course we do. We already have 2 orbitals in the main base. We have 3 more command centers on the way out as well. And we're 5 base first as well. Practically 5 base, because this isn't really mining. So ByuN is very okay with this position. 81 workers against 69 as well. Here comes the cloak. Uh-oh. 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 Overseer's moving in, as a lot of ghosts here are going to be taken out for free. Risky move for ByuN there. Thought there were no overseers around, but couldn't have been more wrong. Ends up losing 7-8 ghosts basically for free, without any real reason for there to be to lose these units. Oh my god, these queens are so tanky. Look at this. Queen's absolutely going ham here. Strategically getting transfused. ByuN thought he found a weak spot, but not quite the case. I have a feeling this is a little bit of whining. This is a little bit of whining about the balance of the queen. Can't blame him for that, because that looked a little bit ridiculous. Feels like this late in the game, the queen should not be quite as powerful anymore if there's a drop that manages to sneak by, but... You know, it happened. It definitely did happen. Now we have this little lurker field over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. Is that all lurkers total? Yes, it is. Losing all those ghosts actually was quite expensive. It's still a 6k difference in favor of ByuN, but ByuN does need to be careful. He's getting 8. He has 8 orbitals already. What? No way. If he goes higher than 14 here, he'll be setting a new world record. That would actually be sick. So this could go up to 10 already. Maybe one of them will be used for a base though. Nah. Usually you only expand one at a time, because there's really no reason for Terran to start expanding faster. I'm surprised, by the way, that Dark gets to take this base. So maybe ByuN says, hey, you can have the bottom base, but I'm gonna get the top base. But this one feels pretty difficult to take there for ByuN. So I'd be impressed. Yeah, ByuN's focus actually on that bottom side. I think that's better. I really think that's better. Couple of snipes going down. Queen gets blasted. Now we have these Vipers here. Are they gonna be capable of doing anything? Maybe abduct a couple of these ghosts. For now, I'm not so sure. We have this snipes against Ravagers is really nasty business, honestly. Very, very nasty business. Oh, one snipe goes down there. Oh, what's that? An infestor that just got taken out. A couple of EMPs hitting majority of these energy units. What is our ghost count? We're at 12. I actually think our worker count is a little bit high right now for ByuN. I've noticed this before in other games where he plays, is that despite his extremely high orbital command count, he seems super keen on staying on 80 workers for a long time. Sometimes even going up to 84, 85, 86. Well, he could definitely lose 20 workers here and be completely fine mineral-wise. Thor's already. He's preparing for a Broodlord switch that, well, let's just say it hasn't really taken off yet. There's not a single air upgrade, not a single flyers upgrade here. Ooh! All of these are gonna hit. Okay, that snipe either got cancelled by the lurker or it got cancelled because this Viper moved out of range. I actually think that was due to the lurker, because I don't think the Viper was more than 14 range away, but I could have been wrong. Here comes a lip for some harass. I think that's the first snipe actually this game that I saw that potentially got cancelled due to the new ghost nerf. Everything else has connected. Here come the ghost once more, trying to move in. This is a nice position out of dark, honestly. Oh, queens get taken out. At least one queen gets taken out. 6 HP. I guess it survives with 5 HP. I didn't even know that. This is an interesting attack here, and when I say interesting, I mean this is an attack that definitely is going to end up working, because there's just not enough units here. Planetary gets blasted, these ghosts moving in, and we'll start taking out some of these lurkers. And some of these Ravagers as well. He's also connected. Honestly, I'm gonna have to see some snipes that don't connect here. I really believe that the ghost nerf would be way more impactful. But so far I've been disappointed, and Terrans probably have been happy. Because it hasn't changed very much at all. Infernal Pre-Igniter is on the way as well as Smart Servals, which allows Hellbats to be added into the comp, which is useful usually in the case of Broodlords. So against Broodlords you usually want to get like Hellbat to clear the Broodlings quickly. Now of course Broodlings have been nerfed a little bit when it comes to that timer. So the old trick that Dark used to do, for the people that are not aware actually, the way that a lot of Zerg players were winning games in the past few months is by attacking their own creep tumors and then attacking their own Broodlings and sending the Broodlings into their opponent's units, killing their buildings. It often didn't kill very much. Sometimes it only damaged the Thor. But because it basically allowed the Broodlords to do it risk-free, it was very good. And it forced the Terran to attack into the Zerg often. And that was a real issue for Terran. So now that is probably less likely to happen due to the decreased time of the Broodling, the decreased lifespan. I'm curious how that's going to work out. Look at this. This is an interesting setup here out of Dark. It just has Lurker Infestor on the bottom side. Gets a neural off. Oh my god. And he's going to regret that. Wait. Did he snipe the ghost or did he try sniping the Infestor? I'm quite sure what happened there. I heard a couple of snipes go off, but the Infestor stayed alive. These Lurkers also going to end up dying. Big EMP is going to connect with these Infestors. And more ghosts moving forward. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Once more. Double EMPs go down. Up. As the Infestor has to pay a price for that, of course. 63 workers right now for ByuN. Has lost a bunch and is not going to rebuild them. I think that's a very good call. 9 orbitals are out. We already have a command center turning into a planetary over here. And there's plenty of space for more command centers. Wouldn't surprise me to see some of those. Here we go. Tank and a Thor for a Viper. There's a good trade there for Dark. No, gotta see a couple more snipes. One more Lurker gets blasted. Let's take a look at the resources lost here. 24,000 against 33,000. As this is just pure Broodlord savagery here. Look at this. Bang, bang. Broodlings start going ham on these ghosts. Fungals connecting as well. Dark with a very good fight here. We do have a ghost flank coming in, trying to get snipes on these broodies. Lurkers not entirely in the perfect position to deal with that. The Lurkers are mainly dealing with this left side army, but these ghosts are... Oh, yeah, need to be lifted up here. Getting airlifted out. This was a really bad fight, honestly, for ByuN. Does not seem to have the army composition to deal with Lurker, Broodlord, Infestor, Baneling. Just doesn't have the ghost count anymore either right now. 10 ghosts, 5 Thors, and 3 tanks. I wonder if Liberators might be more useful here. Both for the Infestors as well as for the Lurkers. And the Banes, of course, should help a lot. Pushing that back. Here come the Ghost, Invisible, Snipe 1, Broodlord. As this planetary is going to get taken out. There's plenty of command centers that can take its place. Once again, I don't mind ByuN going to a lower worker count and a higher army count. I actually think that is very helpful for him. Bottom base is being taken out. Could get lifted, of course, but you could also let it, you know, go down in flames. Oh, it's exposed so dramatically. Yeah, command centers are fairly dramatic, I think. Oh my god, you can't be serious. Look at this, look at this, look at this. The final Baneling did it. The final Baneling actually did it. Yeah, here come the Hellbats to deal with those Broodlings. This is not the greatest position for ByuN once again to fight, and he's on the middle of a ramp, can't really properly spread out. Still seems to be fine though, as the Thor's putting on some big work. Lurkers, well, they need to be moved right now or they're just gonna straight up die. Okay, this fight actually was somewhat okay, despite it being on a ramp like that. That surprises me. ByuN though, completely out of cash. 29 workers against 67. Does he have the money? Does he have the ability to rebuild here? He's on 9 orbital commands. He has... Wait, how many regular command centers does he have? I see none. So every base right now that's being replaced is going to be... Oh my god, look at this. How many is that? That's 12 mules. Look at the income. 2k, 2.6, 36 workers, 2.9, 3. Can we touch 3? I think we can touch 3. Freaking 12 mules are actually insane. That unit is so good. He's building a lot of SCVs though. So he wants to probably increase his gas a little bit. Nice, plenty of gas income. Maybe he actually just wants to focus on these minerals a little bit more. Saying, hey, I actually do need more than just 29 workers. And okay, I can dig that. Gas hasn't really been taken from this Vespene Geyser, but this Vespene Geyser has already extracted a decent chunk of gas. That does make life a little bit more difficult for ByuN, of course. Ooh, as he tries to go in here with these Thors. I don't think you can actually do this. This seems like a dream. But a pretty bad dream where you're being hit by spikes coming from underground and you can't see those spikes. Maybe taking out Lurker is not that bad of a plan here. Loses 1 Thor, kills a Lurker, kills a Spine and a Spore. Definitely not worth it. As this Ling run by is dealing more damage than it should have as well. 10 SCVs go down. Lings try to run away, but not going to be capable of doing that. Dark wanted to burrow them. Was like, wait a second, I don't have burrow? Alright, I'll research it for you then, buddy. Seems like the most important resource here is going to be gas for Dark. He's lost a lot of gas. He's struggling to get the gas as well. How many Vespine geysers does he have left? He has about 5k left over here. 2,500 in this area. Nothing here. And another 2k here. So what does that count up to? I think about 10k or so. There's about 10k gas left in his geyser. So if we look at the current army composition, that means he can rebuild this army effectively 1.25 times extra. Because he has an army that just costs a lot of gas. He has 8,200 gas. ByuN, on the other hand, is maxed out and has 5,900 gas. So the Terran army is simply just a little bit cheaper here in this scenario. And that's important to note. It means that ByuN technically could lose an army and still be somewhat okay. How much gas does ByuN have left? Well, he is about, what was that, 3.5k? Make that 4, 5. So make that 7.5. And then if he can get his hands on these, we're easily looking at 10k as well. Like 10k and maybe a bit even. If he can mine all that gas. So that is just interesting to note here already. That if these fights continue going the way they have been going, that it will be good for ByuN. If these fights start going the way of Dark, that will definitely not be good for ByuN. Now, this Overseer is going to get taken out. This Nidus also gets blasted. More command centers are on the way. Ooh, nice parasitic bomb. Good fungals as well here. Not that many ghosts in this army comp. There's 18. But a lot of them are on the bottom, of course. A couple of lurkers moving forward right now. No Overseers in position anymore. Okay, well, these lurkers are just gonna get taken out. There we go. Snipe, snipe. As everything gets blasted. It's a lot of brutes, huh? 21. 21 brutes. 4 lurkers, 7 infestors, 2 vipers. Carapace level 3 on the way. These command centers. I think one of them will turn into a planetary for this base, honestly. This is without map effects, may I say. ByuN practically has map hack right now, by the way. I was like, man, this move with these ghosts is so risky. But then I realized it's not actually all that risky. Because he can just move away if he scans that there's units coming for him. He literally has infinite vision. He can see everything. This guy's a legend. Now these changelings do need to be taken out. Look at this. Look at the actual vision of ByuN right now. He knows every single time he pushes somewhere what's going to receive him. You know, he knows what's coming for him. Every single time. So he takes out these lurkers. Could probably get a couple of these EMPs out if he wanted to. Wouldn't mind another scan here. Just making sure that you know what's kicking off. Needs to pre-spread this army if he wants to fight. Parasitic Bomb 1, Parasitic Bomb 2 doesn't get used. Thor's in a little bit of trouble. 1 gets sniped there out of the sky by the ghost. As the Thor's dealing a lot of damage here. I like the way that our good friend ByuN is fighting this. Because this topside base, if this doesn't get mined, there's very little gas left for that all of a sudden. Very little gas left. Let's face it. There's a bunch of ghosts now moving towards the bottom side without a medevac. And it means that this base is pretty much open. Open for business. Although it's not the business that they're probably too interested in. It is the EMP every single Overseer. And finally, no more changelings for you! Not quite the ending of a Star Wars movie, but it is something, I guess. So everyone writes their own story, and that ghost definitely did. Oh, Thor's being caught off guard here. A couple of fungals going to connect. As these ghosts moving in, Broodlord's in a lot of trouble, but so are the Thors. But who was this good for? I think this was bad for everyone except for the ghost. And I guess the Thors. No, the Thors also are pretty dead. Yeah, that was really scary. What happened there in the resource lost? 10k still in favor of ByuN. But Dark is the only one that can currently rebuild. This base is back up and running. I mean, a planetary needs to be constructed here. This much is obvious to me. Like, this just needs to be a planetary. Otherwise, it's so difficult to keep it. This is an ever-living crap ton of mules again. That's what, 10? 11. 11 mules. Just instantly throws those down. That is just crazy. That's actually crazy numbers. It's crazy numbers. There's not a lot of gas income though here for ByuN. He might actually lose the ability to produce gas units soon, if he doesn't start mining gas quickly. He has 4 available gas geysers currently. 2 are here on the top, which is a very dangerous position. 2 are here on the bottom. Maybe he's working towards this base. And he's just completely ignoring that top base for now. But it felt like there was some opportunities there for him. Let's put it on the everybody camp. See what's going on. Yeah. Dark is struggling with gas right now. Look at that. Has lost 20k and a half against 14k. Oh, these are running out. I think it's going to be Dark that loses the ability to produce gas units. This is it. This really is it. He has like 600 gas left in here. And a little over 3k left in there. I mean, that just doesn't seem sufficient to me. How much do we have left here for ByuN? I mean, that's at least got to be 5k. Then we have up here still as well. ByuN still at 7k. ByuN still at 7k. And I almost feel like ByuN should be focusing more on the top side right now, because the bottom side has been secured. I think that's his. You know, we can leave that for what it is. But this base is actually important. If Dark gets to eventually mine this base, and I think that's Dark's plan. He's like, wait a second, this base is pretty fresh still. Why is that? Can I just take it? Would anyone care? ByuN's like, well, actually, do have some units there. Not huge, but something. And you're not allowed to just walk there, mate. Don't enjoy that. I like that he's mining the gas quickly from here. I also think that mules should be used on this base very rapidly. Just mule it out as quick as you can. Mine it and get out. Mine it and get out. That's the plan here. That definitely should be the plan. 2 more command centers this late into the game. It's gonna go up to 12. Starting to wonder if his world record is still available here. With 14 command centers. Look at all these champions just getting blasted. Oh, there goes an abduct. There goes a second abduct. And there goes some queens with a lot of HP. This is not a big enough army to defend the position, by the way. That is for sure. How many queens do we have? We have a lot of them. Holy crap. We have 15 queens in this army comp. ByuN with a split army here. This is not an easy map for Terran to engage onto, by the way. Can I just say that? It feels so open early on, but now it feels like there's a lot of chokes going into that late game. Or, well, we've arrived in the late game a little while ago, I guess. Uh-oh, ByuN, be careful here. Be very, very careful. You don't want to get caught off guard with your massive Thor force. Hello? What? Is he just gonna sacrifice this army for the greater good? But what greater good is there? He can't recall out. This is not Protoss. And he's pushing in towards the top side, but medevac count is dwindling. These are the last medevacs he's gonna get because, well, he just doesn't have gas anymore. EMP is going to be used against him. What a weird fight here out of ByuN. Could actually cloak because I don't think there's a single overseer. They're a little bit further in the back. Could definitely be really helpful. This was awful for ByuN. Just god awful. Truly awful. Resources lost still about equal. But there's no ability for ByuN right now to reproduce. Needs to throw down mules here on that top side. But also needs gas from the bottom. This Ling run by is gonna stop gas mining there. Oh, these gas geysers are still here too. He hasn't been mining from this. Oh my god, I forgot about those. Maybe still ByuN has a chance? Really felt like he messed that up. I don't understand why he was so keen on backing himself into a corner there. Like, you could say send a couple of Hellbats to deal with these buildings, but the Tor Ghost, once it's in a corner, like, this is not Protoss. You can't recall out of a bad situation and hope that it's all okay. It's just not how it works. Still 2,500 in the bank here for Dark. Now we have some mules dropping down. This one gas still continuously mining. I think this 1,258 gas might actually become somewhat important in this game. So we're mining off of 5 gas geysers right now. ByuN moves towards the bottom side. Yeah, this base is toast. This is the issue. This base is toast. It's actually toast. And there's going to be a hatchery. This will force ByuN's hand. This will force ByuN into attacking. He will be forced into attacking right now. There's nothing he can do about it. I think a couple of Hellbats need to be left here to deal with potential Ling run buys. But if this spot is gone, then what is ByuN to do? He will need to attack. He has a lot of Hellbats. 26. He's getting more ghosts on the way. There's 9 out. There's 3 more coming out. Probably needs slightly more medevacs as well. Yeah, he's in trouble. He's in so much trouble right now. Oh. ByuN. Dark is out of cash. No Hellbats here to defend this base. No planetary. I feel like a planetary here would have helped him so much. These small Ling run bys have dealt so much damage. Now this entire army is forced into moving back. There's a Hellbat army here on top. 4 Hellbats are being produced at the time. The Hellions move back home, try to take out these Lings. This is the last of Dark as well. Let's not forget about that. Dark does not have that much cash. He hardly has any. We're gonna need SCVs in these refineries ASAP. But yeah, the moment Dark takes these 6 gases, that would be a massive issue here. Just a huge issue. And I don't quite think... I just don't understand how it's possible that... I just don't get it. The last few fights out of ByuN have been really mediocre. And it has been showing. We now have a Broodlord army still just kind of rotating around the map. These bad boys are going in. This is what I like. This is what I wanted to see earlier as well, because you need to actually split off a decent chunk of your army to deal with this. Like, you can't just send one Broodlord. It isn't enough. You either need to send all of your queens, which then takes a crap ton of time, or like, taking out gas structures, which are so expensive, is huge. Taking out this greater spire and the other spire, that means you're going to need to invest another crap ton of gas in order to be capable of building Broodlords. A crap ton of gas that simply isn't there. What would be even bigger is taking out like the hive. But there's no need for the entire army to be here. I guess these are some nice snipes. Maybe we can actually get an infestor or two. EMP. EMP's the queens rather than the infestors. Well, doesn't matter all that much. Lots of links as well going down. Is ByuN actually winning this? No way. ByuN's actually winning this. That is legitimate madness. Although his army consists of a 70 supply of Hellbats. I'm starting to wonder if that's the optimal comp. I mean, Broodlings won't be so useful, but... what else won't be useful? Here go the Lings. Walk into a planetary. Oh, this base still has mineral patches as well. I guess there's still plenty of gas for ByuN. So like 2k here. 1400 here. The problem is that these gas is now being mined by Dark. That actually is a real issue. That actually is a real issue. Oh, look at these brutes go, man. They're ruthless. Fearless. Hellbats continue taking out everything. This is the last army that Dark's gonna get. This is it for him. This is his production. Oh. Nice EMPs. Don't think it will be capable of saving everything. Might actually cost a ghost its life as well, so... despite it looking good, it was a bad move in the end. Here comes one snipe. Poof. Not enough, of course, to kill a brute, but close enough. Ghost count at 22. Rising up to 23 soon. Hellbats in the main base, still going ham. This could have been done earlier, but instead an entire Thor Ghost army got lost for that. Which, in hindsight, definitely was a mistake. Has this command center just been killed and wasn't lifted? I think that's exactly what happened here. I think that is exactly what happened here. Evo chamber gets taken out. Dark in the middle of the map. One fight to rule them all, and that's going to be the next fight. Army value of 11,000 minerals and 8,000 gas. That's a couple of free ghosts there. Not sure what they were doing, but they're now gone. There has-beens. This is it. The fight of a lifetime. And what did all of that extra gas bring you now, my friend? Well, not very much. Okay, infestation pit has been rebuilt, so the only thing that can be built with the gas is infestors. Every brute you take out is a brute that's never going to see the light of day again. which is huge because the brutes are the driving force behind this army. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Pop, 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 pop. 5 brutes go down at once. And the trade is going to be with how many ghosts? I think that is 2 that have gone down right now. That is going to be 3, 4, 5, almost 6 ghosts that get taken out there. Maybe it was 6 even. Maybe I missed that. I had the unit tab open, but I didn't see how many ghosts there were. I was looking at the Brute Lord count. There comes a flank with these ghosts. Uh-oh, uh-oh. No scan was used, and this ghost army is actually getting caught out of position. This was a weirdly timed flank that doesn't seem timed at all, but... Oh my god. This is chaos. Brute Lord staying alive. There's still 7 up. 15 ghosts are still somewhere, but where? Where are you, ghost? Where are they? I don't see them. Oh, they're on the right side. What? How did they get there? Oh my god. Matter of fact, gets taken out. This is it. Is it? Well, it's not, but it is. Okay, 4 brutes. The funny thing is that this looks like a lot of supply, but it's all garbage. It's all garbage. This is the army here, ByuN. You know what ByuN actually should be doing right now? He should be dropping mules on these patches. Drop like 10 mules. And you steal away like 250 minerals. Because yes, you're never gonna get those back home, but your opponent won't be capable of mining those. This is a move that a German Terran invented called Goody, a great mech player in the early phases of Wings of Liberty, and also in the later phase of Wings of Liberty. He has always been a great mech player, and in this type of scenarios, he would scan, throw down 10, 12 mules, and try to clear as many minerals as possible throughout the game. And of course, after a while, the Zerg could figure it out and maybe get properly set up. This seems extremely risky and not really working. Wait, but there's no Vipers. So without Vipers, what's the point? So it's not risky. It's brilliant. And he has infinite scans as well. Okay, there is a lair on the way. You need to scan. You actually do need to scan though, yeah. Okay, I think he took some mules from here. He took some minerals from that patch. Okay, now there's too many spines. I don't think these mules will ever finish a mining cycle. Should have sieged the opportunity a bit faster. I have no clue what's going to happen now, though. Let's take a look at the armies. Okay, we have 16 queens and 21 infestors. That is the meat of the army. Or the potatoes. That's the potatoes of the army. And the 4 Brute Lords are the meat. It's the most important part. Okay? If these brutes die, there's no real damage output anymore. And the ghost can just scan, EMP, snipe. Scan, EMP, snipe. Eventually, I think the ghost will end up winning in that case. I don't see a world in which they don't win. Even in this scenario, there's so little brute, and because there are still medevacs around, I think the medevacs are the game changer here. This is an awfully aggressive push. EMPs don't quite connect. We have infinite scans. Snipes can be used. Snipes can be used on overseers as well, of course. There's a lot of overseers now, but there's no hurry. There's absolutely no hurry. Hive is on the way. I think a Viper is in the works here for Dark. Dark wants Vipers. Oh, that's one queen that might die. Stays alive for now. A couple of changelings gonna get taken out. Where are the brutes? Where are the brutes? That's the question. Oh, they're in the back. Back of the army. Waiting for their time to shine. I think ByuN reasonably could ask for a draw right now. And I don't think Dark could deny it to him. I don't think it's possible. Okay, drop some mule. Okay, wants to repair some of these liberators right now. Vipers are on the way. 5-fold. There goes a couple of snipes. 1, 2. 1 queen goes down. Everything else stays alive. Albert, perhaps in some trouble? No, it's just gonna get healed. Even then, 100 minerals for 150. That's a good trade. But lost some money repairing these bad boys, of course. This base is in trouble. Vipers should be gathering energy right now. They indeed are. And that means that these Liberators are going to be in some trouble. And this really is the pushing force behind this. Moving forward with the Lips, moving forward with the tank. Ghost control everything else. Ghost control everything else. There we go. Snipe, 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 snipe. Poof, poof, poof. Next fungal. Here come the Vipers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is all she wrote for the Lips. No, one Lip gets to go back home. 16 drones have been taken out. Mining is now non-existent. You can still go for 94 more minerals. Or 94 more gas on this one Vespine guy. So that's it. Sniped, snipes, snipes. There we go. 1, 1, 1. Boom, boom, boom. Oh my god, that's a lot of transfuse energy here available. Broodlords are just tanking it. More and more fungals moving in as well. This is some sick control out of Dark, honestly. We'll not end up losing a single of these broods. But the ghost count has been diminished. That was insane. Just fungals landing on top of this position again and again and again. And transfuses hitting all of these broods. So fast. Still, this is the only real damage output this army is. I think it's over. I think it's over. GG. And I think... Now, I could be wrong. If we go back slightly into this game, and ByuN just knows that he lost this fight, if he moves back at this point, can we reasonably expect Dark to ever kill his opponent? I think you could... Nah, there's not enough ghosts anymore. If you have 8, 9 ghosts still, maybe you can go back home and ask for a draw and then play it from there. Like in this situation, for example. I think... That's hard to say. It's hard to say, because I guess he still believed that he could win. Alright, well, score is gonna be 2-1 after a 48-minute game here on Grasspan. We'll be heading into game number 4. Absolutely crazy game there in that last one. And it's one of those games where you have the... You know, you have those 1-1 roach pushes in the early game. You fight for 5-6 minutes straight, but then it still kind of transforms into an epic late game. Where I think one of the absolute key moments in that game is where ByuN throws away like 4 or 5 Tor, 7, 8, maybe even 9 ghosts in the bottom right corner to try and kill a base, while a couple of Hellbats would have done a way better job. And we see that a couple of minutes later when he does send in just a couple of Hellbats. Makes it so difficult to respond for Dark. He can't just send Lynx because he get blasted. If you send Banelings, you're trading pure gas against Hellbats, which is also bad. So you need to send either Queens or Broodlords, or a mixture of stuff, like the Queen Broodlord, Queen Bane. It just never feels good to split off an army to deal with Hellbats this late into the game when you don't have lurkers anymore. Like if you had a lurker, that would be no problem. You could just send one lurker over, but there were no lurkers anymore. Not even a single one. That was really an issue against those Hellbats. So yeah, it felt like a lot of supply, a lot of value was lost there. And this seems to be a Reaper first versus a 6-Ling pool first coming out of Dark. No Roach Farm being thrown down, and we're just heading into a more standard game then, I guess. It feels like ByuN feels very comfortable with this opener. I wonder how he's going to control this against 6-Lings though, because yes, you'll have 2 Marines. But is 2 Marines... Well, he won't even have the 2 Marines yet. He's going to have 1 Marine, and he's going to have 1 Marine like 25% done. Okay, here comes the Marine, needs to walk up to the ramp. Reaper gets sent back home. SCVs get pulled. Command Center is not building anymore, that's for sure. ByuN needs to be pulled away as well. Second Marine is out right now. 1 SCV has gone down total. And where's the Reaper? Wait, where is the Reaper? Okay, Reaper is back home. A lot of delay on this command center. Blind Bunker will be produced. Oh, this was chaos. This was absolute chaos. Not a good type of chaos. Up. There goes the depot lift. Nah, this was not good for ByuN. He's gonna get a blind tech lab as well here on this factory because he believes it might be a roach follow-up. He's incorrect, and that makes this all the more painful because, well, let's face it, you don't really want to have Cyclones against just a standard Link 3-hatch opener with a couple of Queens out. That's not entirely what I describe as a perfect early game. This Queen also is not what I describe as the perfect early game, because there's quite a bit of energy. It could be used some creep tumors here. It's floating 38 energy to be specific. So single Cyclone. No, actually, Cyclone got cancelled. So we're going to instead just see the starport go over here. We have heli in production. We do have that bunker still around. And I guess a delayed third CC is going to be the plan here for ByuN. A couple of cars, maybe a Banshee with cloak, and that should be it. Reaper gets blasted here for real. And we'll have to wait and see how ByuN is going to play this. Because we know nothing weird is happening, but look at ByuN scouting. He knows nothing. He has no clue what's going on. Hasn't seen link speed. No, wait, he has seen link speed, but that's about it. Could still be a roach follow-up. So where do you want to go from here? He's actually going to go into a medevac with fake cloak. So he was hoping for Dark to scout this and then prepare for the wrong thing. Is this going to be a Hellbat attack? Are we going to see an armory here? It is possible. It is possible we're going to see an armory here. Yep, there we go. In the natural as well. Okay. Medevac. So far not being spotted. Going unnoticed. Absolutely. Armory gets. Oh my god, you can't be serious. That is a huge scout here. A massive scout. We can get a blind spine at this point. Yep, there we go. Spine gets taken out. It's not blind anymore. It's just a spine. Blind spine is if you don't scout it and you build it blindly. This is a vision spine. You get vision of something that requires a spine and you get a spine. Drop is still going to deal some damage here, it seems like. As we get 3 workers immediately. Is there any queens in the main? There's not really. Follow-up will be cloak. Nah. This really did very little. Very, very little was achieved here. Still 2 cars remaining at home, but good for a run by, I guess, potentially. This is a 2-base all-in. This is most definitely a 2-base all-in. Okay. I like that. So single Banshee. Does it have cloak? I think it does, right? Okay, it has the cloak. Single medevac with 4 Hellions. Could still move in here. Maybe deal some damage on this side. Look at this bad boy going ham. It's not really dealing any damage, to be honest. I was hoping for more. This has been fairly mediocre. Spire! Oh yeah, Dark just doesn't care about scouting. When's the last time Dark scouted in this series? I guess he scouted the armory. A Spire! That is what we call an incorrect call. Baneling nest behind this. Single Evo. That's a couple of drones that get roasted. 3. Make that 4. Make that 5. Make that 5. Matter of fact, perhaps in trouble. No, it's gonna be fine. Gets the boost out. We have 5 barracks out. We have a tank. We have a second tank. Stim +1. And 2 medevacs. Almost want to say add another armory here. So these Hellions can turn into Hellbats. Not so sure if ByuN were to agree with me. Look at this. Oh my god. Dark legitimately has no clue what's kicking off here. He was in such a good spot after the early game. Such a good spot. And he's completely throwing that out of the window. He's going up to 78 workers. He's adding a macro hatch in his main base right now. He's expanding to his 4th. He's getting double upgrades. Centrifugal hooks. Just add another hatchery in the main. You know you want it. You know you want it. He's going to get a surprise of a lifetime in about 4 seconds. Like, wait a second. This isn't good, is it, guys? Why is there that many Marines there? Why do you have 2 tanks with this push? And why can't I run by your 3rd at the moment? Oh no, it happened again. 5 Mutas in production? Excuse me. That's a mistake. This base is gonna get given up here immediately. I mean, it can't do anything. You can't defend that base with slow banelings and no links. There's a lot of queens though. There's actually 9 queens. We have gases 5 and 6 on the way again on our 3rd. Macro hatch will be paying off at this point because larvae are going to be, well, necessary to build the units. Queens could definitely spread out in like a massive formation here. Bit of an arc. Look how little Dark knows. They're just seeing this move back home. It's like, okay, what's happening here? Is this going to rotate to the right side? Yeah, it is. ByuN's so careful on his positions and where to fight. He really cares about that type of stuff. It's probably a good characteristic. Because he could have just walked over here, but doesn't want that. He wants this general area. Unsiege everything at once, though. Must feel very comfortable in his move forward. I'm not so comfortable in it at all, though. Splits are good. Tanks siege up as well. These Banes could get taken out before they finish morphing. It is scary, though, to move in there. You don't know when they're going to finish up. You get too close, you lose 10, 20 Marines. Uh-oh. These tanks are not sieged up. That could be trouble. That is trouble. Oh, yo, yo, yo. Well, is it? Maybe no? +1 upgrade putting in some work, apparently. Oh, it's fighting against 1-1, so that also doesn't make any sense. Control of ByuN has just been phenomenal, I guess. 70 supply still around. How many Banes do we have? We have 10 Banes, 6 more on the way, 9 more on the way. There's plenty of Queens still. And we still have these 4 Mutas. Where are these Mutas? They're with the army. If you take out this tank, this Marine army is garbage. But I don't think it's possible to take out these tanks. I just don't think it's possible. This is hold position. It's an F2 hold position move, as we call it. Infantry armor level 1's about to finish up. Slowly but surely, Dark's army is growing while he's adding Mutas. Surely adding more Banes would be a more sophisticated answer. I guess he needs to spend his cash and he can't figure out how to do it without spending them into Mutas. He's lacking the... Ooh. He's lacking the larva. This is an interesting run by. I'm not so sure this is going to work out. Don't think it is. ByuN's still at the front here. 82 army supply against 84. This is it. This is the point where from here on out, Dark's army is going to get bigger and bigger at a way higher pace than the army of ByuN. This is a lot of Mutas, by the way, all at once. That's 11 Mutalisks. There's 4 more on the way. That's going to go up to 15. That does mean that a lot of units in this army can't actually fight very well because Mutas are garbage at fighting. Ideally, want as many Banes as possible. Here comes the Queen spread. 1 Queen in the front. No. Ooh, Mutas coming in. Transfuse is going down. 1 tank might get sniped here. Definitely will not get sniped. Okay, Mutas go back in. Lost a couple of Mutas for that maneuver, though. You see army supply honestly falling quite rapidly here. Very rapidly even. 3 tanks in the back. Need to target down these Banes. Where's all the Banes? Well, they're pretty much exploding, but so are a lot of these Marines. More reinforcements coming in, though. And with 2 tanks still in the back. With no bailings out currently. And with the army consisting of pure Ling, Muta, Queen. I think this is going to be it. ByuN has done it. More Marine reinforcements stimming in. As 2 extra medevacts also show up. GG gets called. ByuN wins the game. ByuN wins the series. And takes the first match in this group. With a 3-1 victory. Like I mentioned before, tomorrow we're going to be doing Astrea versus Classic. So be sure to stay tuned in for that. That's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget the like button, subscribe to the channel, and see all of you then. Bye-bye.